nonsense. And then these paddlers bawled, "What preeminence hath a man above a brute? Wherein is he better than the dogs which perish? Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward, or the spirit of the beast that is blotted out and goeth outward like the extinguished lamp, or downward like a lead to the bottom of nonentity? Come, buy my books! Come, buy my books!" Surely here was a demand for light upon the tremendous question, are we to be or not to be when life's fitful fever is over? Here was a question requiring the lips of the infinite God to answer, and he did. For the weakest instruments he confounded earth's greatest and wisest men. Through a harlot's daughter was met and vanquished all opposers of his truth, that death was not the destiny of man. Through a barber's clerk he was revealed the hierarchies of the vast heaven. Through a country school teacher was declared the order and the majesty of being. And through the agency, even the wicked dead, was demonstrated man's continued life. Spiritualism came, not as a superseder of the Christ, but as a final demonstrator of his truth. It came to transfuse new energy into man and man's religion. It comes to appoint the better way and foreshadow in radiant glories now beneath the horizon. It comes saying, "Prepare ye the way of the Lord. Make his path straight by straightening thy own." It comes to infuse new and glowing hope in every heart bowed down. And alike from the hilltops and the valleys of the world, it points man's vision upward and bends him in the midst of all his trouble and sorrow to remember, God is there. God is up there. In the steep and radiant sky, he paints the picture of the yet to be, and sending spiritual duplicates thereof his children in their deep sleep, bids the dreamer behold them, treasure their memory, and to live highly, purely, nobly, manfully. Live, and die no more forever. Spiritualism, true spiritualism, is one expression and element of the soul of the age, and an age whose body is exceedingly corrupt, and it so quickens the institutions of some watchers of the tower that can already see the glimmer of the rising sun of gladness, a sun, too, whose glorious beams will dissipate all the fogs and mists now bending over human heads, and shutting out the light of higher heavens than optician's glass can ever reveal. Aye, truth do some behold the hither end of the bough of promise, and these are singing the song of approaching joy. The wiser time will surely come, when the fine overplus of night, no longer sullen, slow or numb, shall leap to music and to light. In that new childhood of the world, life of itself shall dance and play. Fresh blood through time's shrunk veins be hurled, and labor meet delight halfway. There can be no doubt but the days of evil are numbered by God, those arising from the obsession included. Gazing still adown the lane of light, I saw that the process had been commensurated in the soul of the man upon the stage, who was about to address the assembled crowd, a process, too, which would ultimately set him free, for already his sphere indicated the beginning of the repertory action, and in precisely so far as he helped himself and shook off the influence of the others, just so far did two attendants and radiantly bright beings of a high and pure order assisted and protected him. And gazing upon the scroll of his destiny, I saw that in a few years from the day he would complete his apprenticeship and stand before the world no longer an automation, but a firm and solid-minded man, that no longer lecturing upon useless metaphysical abstractions, he would, for 3 years, preach the gospel of truth, Christianity, with a power and effect never to be obtained by human machines, but only by good, well-developed, unfolded, and harmonic souls. Slowly, the opening through which this great political drama was seen, and its beautiful teachings conveyed to me, close up, that once more I stood solitary in the midst of my oral sphere. Looking now toward the point wherefrom I had turned a little while before, my eyes observed that the apparent attack from its integrity was still going on. But this was mechanical only, for my mind was dwelling upon things of far more interest and importance. Amongst other lessons gained during the brief time that I had been dead to earth, alive to a higher existence, was this: the terrestrial world itself is really spiritual, could mankind but perceive it. For instance, every tree, shrub, flower, plant, and animal is not only possessed of an ideal and thought representative value, but they are themselves essentially spiritual. For the bark, and the leaves, and the woody fiber, the flowery petals, and all the physical eyes behold are not the things they seem, but are merely outer coats and coverings, the cloaks and garments which things themselves put on. The nature of the external form being determined by law integral to the very thing itself, just as picture is merely physical embodiment of the idea in its artistic mind. Unfavorable conditions cramp some trees physically, but burn the wood, and the spirit of the tree is perfect as the Infinite One could fashion it. So also with human trees. Interiorly, many men and women are better than they seem, and many are worse. Still, be it remembered that beauty and symmetry are natural to trees, even though storms and snow and fierce winds dismember them, render them hideous. So also virtue and goodness are natural to the human soul, while vice and deformity are artificial and conditional acquisitions. A man may lose an eye, leg, arm, be disfigured by accident or disease, to the extent that will render him hideous to all embodied beholders. But let him die, or while living be gazed at spiritual beings, and his legs, arms, eyes, the whole man stand revealed in their true proportions. A man's spiritual form may be cut, shot, or slashed through 10,000 times, yet never a bullet or knife will injure him, and this for reasons already set forth early in the pages of this book.